I was driving into the office to do this radio show, and I pulled into a barbecue place called Pokey Joe's to eat a late lunch so I wouldn't have low blood sugar on the air. And I went in, got my food, sat down in the corner of their main dining room that looks into their back dining room, and then I noticed 4 police officers walking in to go in and have something to eat. And I watched the body language of the families that were eating in the establishment, and I noticed their body language going from one of being happy and laughing and talking to everyone being quiet for about 10 minutes. I'd been there about 20 minutes eating. The police got there, and then I was there about another 10 minutes, and I watched everyone's body language, because I always watch people. I wasn't watching the televisions they had, hanging up in the dining room. I was watching people while I was eating and thinking about societal engineering and how the globalists are operating, and I was writing notes for a voiceover that I'm going to cut tonight on a new film I'm working on that deals with eugenics and deals with genetically modified crops and weather modification and toxins in the water, and how we're sending crews off in the next few weeks to interview top EPA scientists about how deadly sodium fluoride is in the water and how the government knows this and purposefully puts it in the water to cause cumulative bone cancer, organ failure, and reductions in fertility. And that's all admitted mainline science. And so I'm sitting there looking at these poor people, wanting to warn them they're drinking the tap water and drinking the iced tea, it's made out of tap water, and thinking about, should I go up and just start warning everyone at their tables that this poison is being put in their water under international rules. Sure, they'll laugh at me and think I'm a kook, but some of them will still go check into the scientific facts, kind of like for 15 years I've been warning you about how your blood's taken at birth in the entire Western world and put in secret Pentagon DNA bioweapons databases. And that's been declassified the last 2 years, and they admit it is in the Pentagon and Cold Springs Harbor Eugenics, IBM Laboratory, Cold Springs, New York. I mean, sure, truth is stranger than fiction. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to save it for the radio. I'm not going to do what I do more and more in grocery store lines, at shopping malls, at gas station checkout counters. I will just start preaching and warning people and holding up the bubble gum and saying, look, you can't find one type of gum in here that doesn't have aspartame, even though it's sugar gum. This is a chemical toxin on record. It was developed by the Pentagon as a sweet-tasting chemical weapon. It's highly addictive. Many poisons are. You need to understand it's a neurotoxin. I've interviewed scores of top brain surgeons, neurologists, toxicologists. But today I didn't do it. I just shut up, because it's a normal human instinct to warn people. If you saw somebody 3,000 years ago, let's say you lived somewhere in Central Asia, and you saw someone in your village eating a berry that was poison, you would run over and say, don't eat that berry, that's poisonous, if you were older and had that knowledge and understood it. Or if your people had basically been enslaved by a ruling tribe, and you knew that that ruling tribe was putting a poison in your water to make your people weak, you would hunch down at the well and say, the Bunga tribe is poisoning the water of the Chamumbi tribe, and you should be aware of that, and we should sneak to the river at night and get our own water, and get our people strong enough mentally and physically to be able to try to escape bondage. But see, today, under this mind control auspice, I'm not supposed to want to warn people. So the police come in, and I watch everyone in Land of the Free, Home of the Brave, for whatever reason. Everyone gets uncomfortable. Everyone starts looking down. Basically, everybody stops talking. These are good American slaves. By the media, by the culture, they've been taught to keep their mouths shut. They've all been made to feel guilty by the media that they're all criminals somehow. They better all keep their mouths shut in the Pokey Joes. And the cops realize that the public is scared of them, so they go in the back little dining room by themselves in a corner. They want to be left alone, but everybody's looking at them through the dining room doors. There's 2 doors, open doors there to the back, and I see the families all kind of looking scared, and everybody's whispering now because the authority of the state's there. The state's put out the messages. I just saw a report of the police report admits a woman that they called the ambulance to come get. She was 86 years old. 10 cops came in her house, took her oxygen mask off, so she argued with them, and so they said they felt threatened by her posture in the bed, so they tasered her. And everybody sees those images. Whether they're fair or not, that's how people see cops. So everybody was being quiet in the Pokey Joe. So it's kind of like an old Western movie where the bad guys come in, everybody gets quiet in the saloon. Okay, so I'm sitting there basically in the modern saloon, and I've got my notebooks out, and I've got all these government documents in front of me, some of the latest put out even by the EPA admitting that sodium fluoride is deadly poison. And I'm on the verge of already standing up and giving a speech and warning people, breaking my conditioning to not be ashamed of being a true leader, getting out of my comfort zone to stand up and warn people as a natural, healthy human would do, as a natural guardian. I mean, as a male. As a fighting-age male, I'm not just meant to be a tough guy. I'm meant to be informed and knowledgeable and warning my fellow humans about things. That's the position of a healthy male. That's what we're supposed to do in that guardian position, genetically, historically. That's through anthropology and sociology. That's who we are. So I'm there thinking about doing this, and the cops come in. I go into total analyzing mode. I'm watching everything. I see everyone suddenly not talking. They're intimidated. And I look at these police officers, they look intimidated, they look upset, they're all being quiet while they're eating, they look really uptight. And so I decide to talk to them. I decide to go over and talk to the police officers, 4 of them, 3 males and a female. And I went over and talked to them, and I'll tell you what happened when we get back. And I went over and I told them. Websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. I got up this morning at about 7 a.m., went in and fired up the laptop at the kitchen table while I was drinking hot coffee. And there was the Drudge Report. Never had the giant headline at the top. Senate committee passes Internet kill switch bill. And I clicked on it, thinking, hey, that looks like a PrisonPlanet.com headline, and sure enough, it was. And then he had some other links to ABC News, to Tech World, all reporting the same thing. And it'll be a tax on alternative media to be paid to the mainstream media. You can't make up something that evil. Not only does it violate the First Amendment, but it's discriminatory and makes you fund establishment propaganda. And it allows the federal government to selectively or in its entirety shut the Internet off completely for 4 months. So we'll be covering that coming up. But the good news is it is finally being covered and is being picked up by newspapers everywhere. And I commend the Drudge Report for giving us the top link this morning. It's now on the right-hand side of the Drudge Report, one of the top stories in the right-hand column. You can read our headlines. Obama Internet kill switch plan approved by U.S. Senate. That's Tech World. Here's the PrisonPlanet.com headline, Paul Joseph Watson article from Friday. Obama could shut down Internet for 4 months under new emergency powers. Kill switch bill approved, moves to full Senate floor. So we're going to be going over that. Yeah, you're not in Kansas anymore. Neither am I. This is bona fide, real tyranny. And a lot of people say, well, I don't care if we live under tyranny. I go along. I got my job. I go along with what the government says. I submit to checkpoints and corruption and naked body scanners at the airports and the taxes always going up. I'm going to bend over. Well, they know you are. And that's why they're going to hurt you real bad. As Thomas Jefferson said, and as history shows, the level of tyranny you will live under is the exact level you'll put up with. They will not stop. The type of individuals in power worldwide throughout history are the types that always want more power. If you lay down to them completely like the Russians did to Stalin, they'll just kill 20-30% of you for fun because they've got a bunch of murdering control freaks that work for them. They're enforcers who want to dominate you, who want to rape you, who want to steal from you, who want to arrest you so they can extract fines out of you or take your farm or ranch. Listen, people say that cops can do no wrong in America. The media told us so. But did the Russian cops under Stalin and Lenin before him, were they bad? Were Hitler's police, the Gestapo, were they bad? Are Pol Pot's troops, were they bad? Was Pol Pot's police, were they oppressive? What about Fidel Castro? What about Mao Zedong? What about Julius Caesar? What about Attila the Hun? Oh, he had enforcers. The truth is, 9 times out of 10, I mean, you ever been to Latin America? You ever been to a third world country where most of the people are living homeless? and there's cops in black uniforms walking around on power trips, people that enjoy abusing people, staring down the public, staring you down if you look them in the eyes, maybe beating you up and taking you to jail if you look at them wrong. Maybe they want your wife. Maybe they're going to take you to jail and shake you down and rape your wife in the cell next to you. That happens all the time to dumb, chump Americans that go to Latin America, that go to Guatemala, that go to the wrong area of Mexico. Okay? So I'm here trying to keep our police from being turned into that historically. Why did our founding fathers fight the redcoats? They became oppressive police. Have you read the Declaration of Independence? Read what the government was doing then and ask yourself, is that what's starting to happen now? And the answer is yes, in spades. Now, let me just finish the story quickly, then we're going to go to break and come back and get into all the news. And boy, I mean, just every show, I keep saying, it gets more important, more pertinent, more insane, more crazy. Things are moving faster and faster. So I'm at the Pokey Joe's about an hour and a half ago. I'm eating, real fast. Everybody's talking, having a good time. Families are in there.